For our guest today, we have Miss Melinda Butte. She is the Disabled Veterans Outreach Program Specialist. She's called the DVOP, and she's here to share with you information about what she does to help veterans. So, Miss Melinda, nice to have you on board.
Thank you so much.
Well, tell me, just what is it you do to help veterans?
Here in Iberia Parish, around New Iberia, I help veterans get job ready. If that's helping them with education services, helping them with their veteran benefits,
Okay.
helping them looking for type of employment around the parish.
Okay. So that means you also do go out to employers?
N- No, I don't go out to the employers.
Okay.
I work strictly with the veterans to get them job ready.
Okay. So what does that entail?
So I'll go and outreach to different organizations, find resources around New Iberia or around the parish that can better suit them or help them.
Okay. I do know that in the past, when I was a DVOP, we had a little bit more responsibilities than what you have. But I know one of the responsibilities is to help the veterans, at least with their resumes.
Yes, sure
Okay.
do. Um,
That's something that's very important.
Very important. So we also reach out to different organizations around that will help veterans with resumes. When they do bring their resumes in there to me, I help them also go through their resume, try to pick the details out, do different type of resume formats for them to better suit them to be job ready.
Which could be what, chronological and functional?
Functional, yes.
But with the chronological, you find it's easier to do a resume chronically wise because sometimes veterans got spaces in between.
Yes, so there's chronological is way better due to the spaces. Sometimes they come in with the functional. Sometimes they come in with no resumes at all, and we have to start from scratch.
Okay.
Yes.
So which means you have to pick their brain.
Pick the brain, and that if you
Yeah.
know, that's kind of hard sometimes
Yeah,
because
yeah.
sometimes veterans are very closed and they don't want to express what's going on with them or anything that they've done, and you have to kind of pull it out of them.
Yeah. Well, I found when I was working with the veterans in your capacity, like as a DVOP, I would sit down with them, go over stage by stage in the resume, and one of the first things I would tell them is that understand your resume is like a picture. It's a picture or image of you. So think of you going before an employer for the first time and you're shaking his hand. Well, guess what? That image and that picture, your resume, is the first handshake you make.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So you have to make a pretty good impression. Okay? And a lot of times, veterans I found, or do you find that it's kind of difficult to get them to understand when you're approaching an employer. You have to sit down there and really look at it from a different perspective about what they're looking at and as far as what you're looking at.
Yes, yes.
You know.
And I know resumes that do come in with the veterans, the wording that they're using is really not eye-catching.
Yeah.
They'll write simple sentences. So it's to show them how to get those bullet points and put those words out there that will catch that employer's eye.
Yeah, because a lot of times they would always, I know, working with the resume, I know they would always give me a resume that says, I'm looking for a full-time job with a good company with benefits. And
Aren't we all?
And I'm saying, okay, that's good and all, but let me ask you a question. Just what job are you applying for?
Right.
And they usually say, well, what's open?
Oh, I
No,
take
no,
anything.
I take anything. This one I would crack a little joke. I say, boy, I can go outside and help you pick up cigarette butts outside. That's a job. You want to do that? Oh, no, no.
No, no.
They don't tell me anything. Okay.
Right.
But try to make them aware of what an employer is looking at. They got certain rules to some degree that you have to watch out for. And I'm sure you inform them of that as well. The biggest thing that they don't realize when they do a resume that I know of, working with a vet, is that an employee will only spend about 8 to 12 seconds on the first half page just about to find out what's something that captured their eye on the first page. Don't give me a 3 or 4 page resume. I'm not going to.
Right.
There's no way in the world I'm going to do that.
And that's what I also tell the veterans too, is that you may want to keep it down to one page. Sometimes you have a little longer, 2 pages.
Yeah, about a page and a half.
Page and a half,
Yeah,
two, no more than 2, then we're writing a story, and we just
Yeah.
need to condense it.
Yeah, and please tell the employee what job you are applying for.
Right.
Because if they have 10 of them, they're not
They're
going to
not
find
gonna
a place
find-
for you.
right, right.
Yeah, you're right. What do you do when whenever they get in front of an employee? What type of instructions do you give them?
So we'll go over some basic interview skills, how to dress, how to approach, a good firm handshake,
Okay, yeah, okay.
and then just addressing and answering the questions that are brought to them and not going around the question or talking more about outside of the question or just rambling on.
Yeah,
Just straight to the point.
yeah. Well, the thing is, I found when I would ask them or ask anybody that sat in front of me, I would ask them is to tell me about yourself, and they go into this long speech. They want to tell me their whole life history. And I'm saying, once you've said that, what is that? What the employer is looking for? What type of answer you're doing? But anyway, I think this will come to this first segment, ending of it,
All right.
and we'll pick up where we left off. We're back with Miss Melinda, and I think I'm going to pick up where I left off. I was talking about resumes and about interviewing, and that an interview can stop you from getting the job just by you answering the first question. And usually it is, tell me about yourself. And sometimes people want to go on, but it's best to be direct and to the point, as I'm sure Miss Melinda is going to say the same thing.
Yes, direct and to the point.
So,
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple, huh? Well, the veterans, where do we stand as far as for your services are concerned?
So for our program, veteran needs to have 180 days off active duty, and that's outside of training.
Okay, outside of training.
Yes, sir.
What about when a person walks in the door and the front of the front section, whenever they come in, that's when they do the triage?
Yes, so when a veteran comes in, he'll sign in and he'll state that, on the sign-in sheet that he's a veteran. Then he would get a triage form.
Okay,
Through that, they'll go through the form, fill it out to the best that it can.
okay,
If there is a notice that they are can be referred to our services,
Okay.
the triage form comes to me.
okay, so that is really a major part, or rather a major document that let them know that you're the person that they're supposed to see.
Yes.
Okay. Suppose a 26-year-old walks in and he is disabled. Would that fall underneath one of the criteria?
Depending if he is service connected,
Okay.
if it's a service connected disability.
Okay. Beyond that, just for simple sake of argument, there are more than one type of that a veteran can qualify for, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm sure there's a number of them, but like always, government is government.
Yes.
Once you fix them with the resume and so forth, what's the next step that you take in order to help them?
After the resume, so we go through any other benefits or resources that I can provide to them. So once the resume is complete, they'll let me know what type of position that they're looking for.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you help them find that position maybe?
I don't necessarily do any job searches for them.
Okay.
That is something for the veteran to do.
And for the front office to do to help
The
them with?
front office, they can be referred back to the front office. There's computers in the front that they can use to do job searches.
Okay. I know when I was a DVOP, I would actually hold like a little mock interview session.
Yeah.
Do you do that as well?
As of right now, I haven't had to, but I would love to. I do want to go back. There's another thing in our system. It's called a virtual recruiter.
Okay.
So once a veteran goes in and puts their resume and their information, the system can target any job matches for them that they can apply to.
Okay. Because I know that's when I would have fun with the veterans, 'cause I started asking all kind of questions. You know, and the thing I found though, that they were very pleased to know that there was someone kind of directing them upon how to walk into a resume and walk into an interview, and rather than walking in there not expecting anything, just to sit down, you could talk to me, ask questions, but if they have an idea how to approach the interview,
Right.
they're much better off.
And
Yeah.
and doing the mock interview, giving them simple questions, you can pull it off the internet and just give them some questions that are the most common questions asked from an employer.
Yeah. One question I would ask them, which everybody would ask anyway, how much does it pay? You know, and for me, I would always tell them, don't ask that question, and let them bring it up. And rather than give them a specific amount, I would tell them operate within a range.
A range, right?
You know, because the range gives itself a lot of flexibility.
Yes.
Okay. And every now and then, one of my guys would mess up and they'd give me a nice quote. I say, really? We don't pay that much. Kind of put them on the spot a little bit, you know. So they get kind of, they're really aware of what's going on once you start doing like a little mock interview with them. What would be another process that you help them with that you can share with us?
I help them with getting on e-benefits.
On e-benefits?
Yes.
Okay.
So if they need to obtain a DD-214, because when they're applying for positions and as a veteran, they may need documentation to show that, and some don't have a DD-214. So to get online and get an e-benefits account.
Mm-hmm. I know sometimes I've run across veterans, I guess you could say especially my age bracket, where they would, well, during the Vietnam era, I'm sure you weren't even alive then. But anyway, they refused to go to the VA and get into the system because of the way they were treated. But a lot of times, though, I kind of talk them into it, and so that they can get processed through it. I'm sure this could be our second segment. We're back with Miss Melinda, and she's going to pick up where she left off. But of course, I was talking at that time. This was in reference to veterans during my Vietnam era time who refused to go to the VA system for some apparent reason, which I'm not going to make excuse for because they, never mind about that. But anyway, it was just a tough time for us, okay? But in your case, when you're dealing with the veteran, you try to work with the whole veteran as far as dealing with him on an individual basis where he's at that time in his mindset.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm assuming that from there you kind of pick his brain.
More of a mindset, more of what his goal is.
Okay.
So the veteran will come in and tell me what he is looking to do, what he wants to do. It's not me telling him what he's going to do.
Okay.
He comes in and gives me his goal and objectives, and we develop the objectives together.
So if you see something on a resume and that he wants to do something totally opposite, 180-degree opposite.
My question would be why?
Why? Yeah, you're right.
Tell me why.
Tell me why. But the thing is that you do work with them the whole person, trying to find out what his needs are.
Yes.
So once you think you've completed that, what's the next step that you take to help him out as far as job-wise or?
Job-wise, referring him over, we have what are called leavers. It's our local veteran employment representatives. I'll refer over a resume over to the leaver.
Mm-hmm.
If there's any position that he may be available for, that leaver can talk with the employer.
So she would be the one to contact employers to help him
Yes.
hopefully get employed.
Hopefully get employed.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Well, when it comes to the leaver, What just overall, just what is her territory?
The lever in this office is over a region, so it's broken down by regions.
Okay.
Right now, she is over New Iberia, Lafayette, up to Opelousas, out to Leesville, out to Lake Charles,
Oh, you like the Southwest region?
Southwest region.
Yeah, it's a lot of territory. I'm sure she relies on you a lot, though.
I'm sure she relies on all her DVOPs a lot.
Well, I tell you what, I do know that when it comes to the DVOP side, okay, you guys are very dedicated trying to help veterans.
Yes.
Okay. Of course, your beauty also helps out
Oh,
some.
thank you.
You know, but I'm sure that the veterans, when they walk in through the New Iberia Center, okay, and if they dealt with you before, do they ask for you specifically?
Yes.
And bypass everything?
Yes. And I think that the veterans that do come, when they realize that in the DVOP position, it is a veteran working with them,
Right.
the camaraderie comes
Camaraderie,
together.
yes.
Camaraderie
Yeah,
comes
yes.
together. And, it, so it just mends and it makes it
Okay.
a little better place.
Okay. Being a veteran, you find that veterans open up to a veteran a lot more or a lot easier to open up to a veteran?
I believe so, yes. I like to share the things that I've done.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh no, I just like to share the things that I've done. I say I'm prior service, and we'll talk about my job or what we did. I like to put out also that I've worked with veterans majority of my career.
Okay.
And that opens up. I've also worked with the VA in Miami.
VA Miami.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I helped veterans with their claims and then advocacy for veterans. So when we talk about those things, that's when we can bring in the veteran benefits.
Okay.
And I'm able to explain to them about benefits that they may be eligible for that they don't know.
Yeah, because that's one of the reasons why Veterans Corner was established. Because there's a lot of information out there, there's a lot of programs out there that they are not aware of.
Right.
And for Veterans Corner, we're bringing it to the table. Just like I'm hoping what we're doing here today, that it will go to a larger audience rather than just say within. You see veterans say maybe 50 times in 1 month, say for veterans, right? Well, in working with this program that we have with Veterans Corner, you're seen by thousands.
Wow.
So there's a chance that not only that'll 50, but you're dealing with other veterans as well
Right.
out there, and they can come running to you.
Good. They can run.
You know.
That's a good reach out and touch someone type
Yeah,
thing. Now.
yeah. And that's one thing we're trying to do. And I'm sure with you and your resources, okay, that gives you confidence that you could send them there and work and have those resources work with them.
Right.
You
Or
know.
refer them there, or even pick up the phone while they're here to build that. We're building those relationships with the resources around. Instead of just referring them or sending them, actually picking up the phone and talking.
Well, I found when you did that in front of them and you set up an appointment for them and all this stuff, they just get overwhelmed.
Yes.
Really? Okay. And a lot of them have told me before, say, Greg, I expected to come in here, sit down with you in 5 minutes, get in and get out. He said, it's been an hour and a half with you, you know, so they get to the point where they really know me. But anyway, I do know that you guys are doing a very good job here, and I know you will continue to do that. And this can end this show, I'm sorry to say. So, bye-bye.